Hey, FragWatch here. I'm Hano, and today we're going to be reviewing the Lamzu Paro. Great little mouse here. I'm glad I did my extra testing on it because I came to a slightly different conclusion that's not as spectacularly glowing, but it's still very, very glowing. This is a great mouse. I do have a few minor gripes with it, so let's start with those. Number one is the coating. Shows fingerprints. I'll rotate it in the lighting here so you can see that more prominently. You can see the shimmer shine right there, and on the fingers it's very hard to keep clean and wipe off. I hope they fix that. The second thing is I wish that each step on the scroll wheel had more of a stick. It took more force to go one step further on the scroll wheel. That's more for the games I play and my use cases for the mouse, but that is one thing that I had a gripe with, is it goes from step to step on the mouse wheel a little too easily, and I found myself going one too far a couple times. The mouse buttons. Let's go to the good. Let me start with that. The good. So somebody was asking about the side mouse button depth in comparison to the Pulsar V3, and you can see that these stick out about a millimeter further than the buttons on the Pulsar V3 size 1 and the size 2 for that matter. I did pull out my if the X2H is comparable in side mouse button depth, then yeah. So the Paro does have deeper side mouse buttons. They protrude more. They have a more tactile feel. Let me turn this off so I can. Here is the side mouse button clicks. It's mouse 5, mouse 4, left click, middle click, scroll, left click. Okay, and in comparison, here's those side clicks on the Pulsar V3. It's mouse 4, mouse 5. So you can hear these are the ones on the Paro are a little bit louder. Well, not a little bit, they're quite a bit louder. But it's a very satisfying sound, in my opinion. Obviously, your opinion could vary from that, but I enjoyed it. The mouse 3 clicking in is satisfying. Like, it's got good tension. It's got a good feel. You can feel when you actuate it, and it bounces back rather quickly, more quickly than most mice, which I like a lot. The default skates are decent. They're rounded, which I felt on pads like the Jupiter Pro or mud pads or really X soft pads. It made it more muddy. It weighed it down. It felt slower, a lot slower than skates that aren't as rounded. These like gradually slope off. So if you're gonna get the Paro, I think I'd recommend putting larger dot skates on it. Maybe a couple 6 millimeters and a couple 9 millimeters, and then some 9 millimeters or 8 millimeters, something like that. Down here. Overall, the skates are good. The bottom of the mouse design is good. The weight of this, the weight balancing, you can see it's slightly center heavy when I grip it, even with the mouse skates, or not the mouse skates, the side mouse buttons. You get a little bit of a lean forward. Other than that, it's good. The side mouse buttons are pretty much in line with the sensor, which I find is the most optimal position for sensor placement on a mouse. The grip styles that I can firmly recommend for this mouse are obviously both styles of claw. You got the aggressive claw, and this one took a while to get used to, and I would, if you have hands that are smaller, would recommend some grip tape for right back here. It does get kind of slick with, again, that coating. Man, I hope they improve that. And the weird thing is, like, the coating on, like, I'm trying to brush my finger, like the Fanatic Thorn, it's got about the same slope, and my finger just grips onto it better. Like, this just flies off, man. And look at that. You can hear it squeaking when I do the same thing. And it's about the same angle. Yeah, both styles of claw grip work well on this, and a relaxed claw. A palm grip is, if you're looking for that and you have small hands, I guess you could do like an all-contact palm. I guess we're calling it that. Hard for me to do an all-contact palm on this just because of its size. My hands, by the way, are 16.5 by 12.5 wide. They are kind of strong dwarf hands. So my hands might not be the best comparison for most people. I think if your hands are under 18 centimeters in length, this is going to be a good fit for your hand in those grip styles. If your hands are, any width, because my hands are about maximum width for most hands, and it's comfortable width-wise, as you can see. So, you put me on the Thorn, which is a significantly larger mouse. I don't know if that camera angle shows it. They're lined up. Get that. Boom. This is significantly bigger. It's significantly taller. Someone was asking for the comparison between these two. The skate design is wildly different between the two, which I found odd because they're both Ergo mice from Lamzu, right? And they have somewhat similar shapes, as you can see on the bottom here. And the skates on the Thorn are superior in every way. This is some of the best skate design on the market. The engineering that went into this shape and the size and the shaping of the skates is it's the best the industry's seen. And then they come out with this, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Which engineers are working on this project? But okay, so that's the Thorn versus. Here, let me do some click tests between the two. A lot more echoey, hollower shell, thicker shell, right? Get some sound dampening from having a bottom, I guess, maybe. Here is the shapings between the Pulsar V3 and the Paro. So you can see the Pulsar is quite a bit smaller than even the Paro. And let's get the Fanatic Thorn in there for giggles. You can turn that on its side. I'll try and get these angled the same and at the same depth. Grip them by the back. You can also go to ELO shapes to get a more fine-tuned and granular sense of the scale of these. I think they have both of these on there now. I think they just put the Paro on there. So you get a good sense of the scale of those. Would I recommend this mouse? If you love the shape of the V3 and you want something slightly bigger, because these are just so incredibly similar. It's like Lamzu wanted to make a Pulsar V3. I don't know any other way to put that. And it's This is the reason I did the longer review. Is I thought it was as good or better. I thought it was better than this at first. In my opinion, for my personal use cases, I think the Pulsar V3 is either as good as this or better. This is as good as the Pulsar, or just slightly a little bit worse. And my reason for that is I for some reason, with just the coating, I can't get that aggressive, like, because mine's kind of like my preferred grip for Ergo style mice. It's like a mix between an aggressive and a relaxed claw, and my palm was just slipping all over the place with that. But with this, I can just, like, I'm like, my palm's locked in on that, and it's because of the coating, because the angle is almost completely similar on that, the sloping. So the Paro, the hump is slightly more towards the keyboard side of the mouse if you're right-handed. It's about right there, and on the Pulsar it's right there. Also, the button height at the very front is higher than on the V3, and you kind of have it more pointed. As you can see, it's got, like, pointed in the middle. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's like using the same mouse. It's really hard to feel the difference between the two. You can feel it for sure, and it's mainly in that coating, and the part of the hump right here is where you feel the main difference. Side mouse buttons, again, I think on the Paro, this is something Pulsar could take a lesson from. On the Paro, you just kind of lock in on those mouse buttons, and it feels really nice, really good. Yeah. So the Pulsar could take a lesson from that. Comparing this to the Thorn, I don't really think there's a good way to compare these, because this is just such a larger mouse. This is like, I wouldn't compare these to the Death Adder V3, V2, or any Death Adder, except for that, I guess, that new Super Light. I haven't tried that, but it's supposed to be smaller. This is just so much larger. It's not good as a direct comparison. I like to divide Ergo mice into, like, palm only, or huge hand people claw grip, right? Or, smaller Ergo mice, which I find to be better for my hand size and width. This is like palm grip only for most people. I mean, if your hands were, I guess, 18 centimeters or 19 centimeters, you could get a better claw grip than that. But, like, I don't know, that just doesn't feel right to me. Anyways, I do play pretty much as good with this as I do these two. And all three of them lag behind my fingertip grip mice, which is a new revelation to me within the last year. Is I play really good with fingertip grip, especially on these little tiny mice. So performance-wise, for myself, these are still better, and it's just because of the grip style and the granular control on multiple styles of mouse pad. These I found work best on more on the speedier side of control, or even balance pads. The Paro I played excellent with on the free fall. That's where I played the best with it, was that free fall SV control pad I was testing. I pulled out my Type 99 to do a comparison to make sure I was getting the best control pad results, and the Type 99 plays significantly faster than this Jupiter Pro, which later this morning I'm going to review. Anyway, so recommended mousepad type would be a speedier control pad, or a more controlled balance pad, at least with the default skates. If I had to give this mouse, which I hate doing, but if I had to give this mouse a score out of 10, I would give it 8.2, 8.3. The coating, change that coating, you're going to be approaching a 9 for sure, maybe more. You change the skate design, in the skates. I do appreciate the attempt at the curvature on the skates. It's just, compared to your outing on the Thorn, it's just inferior in every way. So I think you improve those two things, and you've got a V3 contender, and you live up to the engineering of the Thorn, and you really, you might even take the throne of the best Ergo mouse, the best small Ergo mouse for sure, and maybe the best overall. So those are my recommendations, Paro, or Lamzu. This Paro is a great outing. I really appreciate that you guys put out a smaller Ergo, because I love the Thorn, and I've said to my wife for 6 months now, God, I wish they would make a smaller version of this, and I still wish that. I still to this day wish that, because this is it's a different shape, it's a different profile. It's you shrink that down, boy, you got yourselves a monster on your hands. I'd love that. Put this coating on that, or one even similar to this, or even like this weird honeycomb that the Hottie HTR has, I think would give enough grip to this and also reduce the weight even further. That would be great. Maybe, the packaging for the Paro was really good. It's Lamzu. It's a good unboxing experience. I wish an 8K dongle came with it. I purchased this separately. I do like it. Its shape. I wish it had a design on it. That'd be cool. Or looked, better. But it's good. It's got a nice rubber grip on the bottom. So there's my super speedy review also of the Lamzu 8K polling dongle. If you want a Pulsar V3 with the hump slightly more to the left, and if side mouse buttons are like the creme de la creme to you, this has the best implementation of side buttons on it. Scroll wheel could use a little work, but it's satisfying, Overall, I would still recommend the V3 for most people over the Paro, but the Paro has some real cool things going for it, and with a few minor adjustments, it will overcome the V3 in shape and mouse clicks and everything. I mean, just those minor gripes. So once again, Lamzu, skates, Thorn, coating, you did it right with the Thorn. And the give your the actuation on the scroll wheel, these steppings, a little more force you have to put in to go from step to step. That's about it. I'll leave her there. I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will answer them. I want you guys to be as informed as you can about this mouse. If you guys have any suggestions for future mouse reviews or mouse on pad usage for specific mice on mouse pad scenarios, let me know in the comments. If you have any ways that I can suggestions on how I can test mice or mouse pads, please let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.